So my reality TV pick for this week is Netflix's Love is Blind, okay? So the show is on season 2. The first season aired in February of 2020. So it's been a little while, and the second season just came on Netflix. So I think it's on its 9th episode. I think it's one more episode left. You know, Netflix trying to do this like little weekly thing. Yeah. I'm not mad at them. I get why they're trying to do it. They're trying to get people to like come back on a repetitive basis instead of just like binging things all the way through. But we like that, Netflix. Okay, so don't do too much with it, please. Don't do too much changing about that. But yeah, so if you haven't seen the show, Love is Blind is a show where they take 14 singles and they put them in these pods, men and women. They separate them. And throughout the entirety of the show, they're basically talking through a wall. Like they never see each other. And the goal is to allow people who have trouble finding love and finding companionship on a long-term basis, get to that deeper level by taking out the physical aspects of it. You know, when you can't see anybody, when you're only talking to them, you kind of are able to create deeper connections. Like you're only talking about yourselves and your feelings and your experiences. You don't have any physical attractions to go off of. You don't have any outside distractions. Like they don't have their phones. They don't talk to their family, friends for weeks while they're in the pods. So it's definitely an interesting concept, but we'll get into that a little bit later in the review. So they're in these pods for a set amount of weeks, and at a certain point, if they feel a strong enough connection to that person, then the man can choose to propose to the woman, and at that point, when they are engaged, they get to see each other for the first time. So after they see each other for the first time, they go through the process. They get a little vacation. They get to go to Mexico. They spend some time getting to know each other better, and they kind of get into that physical aspect of it to see if there's a match there as well. And then if they make it past the honeymoon era, they go into real life together. So they put them up in an apartment for a few weeks, and they, I think, have like 3 weeks to meet each other's families, integrate their lives, figure out where they're going to live, and then the show throws a wedding for them. So at the end, they can decide on wedding day, like to say I do or say I don't. So that's the whole big thing about it. Love is Blind, trying to see if people can really, really build connections without seeing one another first, and if that makes any of a difference at all. So overall, I gave this show. So let me tell you how I break it down. So I basically take the 3 aspects that we discussed earlier, and I rate them from a 1 to 5, a 5 being very high on whatever the aspect ratio is, 1 being very low, of how well of a job the show did. So overall, I gave this show an 86%, which is a grade B. So I'm gonna break it down for y'all, and then we're gonna get into the characters. Okay, so as far as the storylines, I personally feel like the storylines are very strong on the show. Okay, first of all, let me get into... Sorry, I forgot to talk about season 1 real quick because my faves, Kim and Lauren, from the season 1. Season 1 was very popular. People still talk about, everybody's favorite couple, Kim and Lauren. They're so cute. I'm gonna put their little ad thing right here so you can see their Instagram page and stuff. But they were adorable. Like Cam was just so in love with her, and you can really just see her develop feelings for him as well. And it was interesting because, she was afraid him being white, because she, they can see each other. So she didn't know that this was a white guy beforehand. But, once they met, she didn't know if that was going to be a problem for her family, her dad. So you kind of see them go through their whole little process. They're still together to this day, still cute as ever. I just watched a recent interview where they were talking about, trying to have kids and all that stuff. So we're rooting for them. We love Cam and Lauren. And then Amber and Bennett was the other couple that made it through to the I Do's and stayed together. They're super cute as well. They had all this drama, Barnett, because he made a strong connection with another woman, and the other woman really liked him. And the other woman made an appearance on season 2, but we're going to get into that later too. But yeah, so he ended up, choosing Amber, and they're still together to this day as well. Super cute couple. We wish all the best for them. But yeah, that's basically the concept of the show. So season 2 just dropped on Netflix. Overall, I think the storylines were very strong. Like, they touch on real life topics, which is something that I think is, important for a reality TV show. When you want it to translate positively to your audiences, you want it to be something that your audience goes through as well. So, the people discuss topics like growing up with divorced parents and, their insecurities, dealing with anxiety, life-altering events. One of the guys on this season, shout out to Jared from Chicago. Okay, shout out in the house. He opened up about, almost being killed. And these are real things that, everyday people go through. So it's definitely moments of just being like, damn, like, I know how that feels to go through something so intense and not have somebody there, or I know how it feels to have somebody there, and I can understand why you would want that as well. So definitely strong storylines, I feel like, are a good part of the show. So I think that's a strong suit for them. I think they do very well with the storylines. When it comes to the characters, so just to reiterate, we base reality show characters based off of how entertaining they are, because honestly, they're not really being written as much. I do feel like show creators kind of lead certain things and try and get conversations to go certain places and that kind of thing. But overall, you're just relying on their personalities to kind of shine through and either be entertaining or just annoying. And some of the characters on Love is Blind just be annoying. Like, at a certain point, it just be like, bro or girl, I need you to come on, get it together. They're entertaining, though. I will say that they're interesting characters. So I gave them a 4 out of 5 total for their characters and how entertaining they are. I wouldn't say that I necessarily feel like I relate to any one specific person on the show, especially this season. But, there are moments of just being like, damn, girl, I understand that. Or damn, my nigga, I understand that. They are pretty entertaining and pretty relatable. But yeah, like I said, sometimes they just be annoying and it just be like, okay, whatever. And that could be editing too, because I know sometimes the editors are trying to create a storyline. So they take sometimes, I feel like, the worst moments of people or the most annoying moments of people and kind of spin it however they want to. So it could be edited. It could be the people. Either way, I feel like they drop the ball a little bit there. And then when it comes to the concept of the show, I did rate the concept a 4 out of 5, only because it's not necessarily a unique concept. The whole idea of basically an arranged marriage, because that's what this is, right? There's shows like Love at First Sight and, other shows where that kind of concept is already in play. But what I do like about Love is Blind is the whole idea of the soul behind it, really trying to get people to connect on a deeper level by taking out that physical thing, ahead of time. And they actually give them time to build a relationship. They're in these pods for weeks and y'all not doing nothing but hanging with the guys and going and talking to the girls every single day. So you're dating 14 people for an extended period of weeks, and that's all you have to do, all you have to focus on. You're definitely gonna, build some connections there. So I do really like that aspect of the show. I think they do a very good job of just trying to relate to this generation, especially because there's so many issues within this generation of just trust and sociability. I feel like people nowadays don't really know how to socialize very well anymore, without turning up, without drinking and all that stuff. And they do get a little drinks on the show and whatever, but I do feel like it's a lot harder nowadays for people to make genuine connections with other people. I'm not like that, my friend's not like that, but I do feel like my little sister, she's 20 years old, and I feel like for her, she's still learning how to make those deep connections with people, outside of the people she already loves and trusts. So I definitely think that's just a positive light that they try and shine on creating connections and, building trust. So I do like that aspect of the show. Like I said, overall B+ as far as entertainment. So now I'm going to get into the characters on the show. Okay. So spoiler alert, if you're going to watch the show, watch the review after you've at least seen 7 episodes. I think that's where I'm at right now. There are 9 episodes on Netflix right now, and then the 10th one comes out February 25th. But right now I'm on 7. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the last season, and then I'm going to get into the characters from this season. Just to highlight my faves again, Cam and Lauren. They're probably like everybody's faves from last season just because their interaction seemed so genuine. Like, it really did come across on camera like they really like each other, because you can tell. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty good like judge of character and intuition. Like, I can read body language, and sometimes it just you can look at two people and be like, this don't seem like it is what it is. Like, it probably ain't what it is. It ain't what it looked like. But, for Cam and Lauren, everything really seemed genuine. And like, literally from the moment Cam saw her, it really seemed like he just wanted to try so hard for her. So that's, I think, why they became favorites, because it just seemed so genuine. And I can say the same thing for Amber and Barnett. The whole Amber, Barnett, Jessica drama, I just feel like, girl, Jessica, I'm glad you moved on. She's apparently, like, I think maybe engaged. She's either engaged now or with some guy like that she's been with long term. So shout out to you, Jessica. I'm glad you found love, because Jessica, what happened was she ended up saying yes to this other guy, her second choice that she didn't really want to say yes to. She really wanted Barnett, but Barnett didn't want her no more. So she basically just kept trying to sprinkle herself in Amber and Barnett's relationship. And I'm going to talk about why I said she reappears on season 2, because there is a character just like her on this season. Like, I'm just like, girl, did you watch season 1? Like, did you decide to be Jessica or what? Because this is ridiculous. But yeah. So yeah, they had their little drama, but ultimately Barnett knew what was up with his girl Amber, and they're still together. I thought they were super cute together. They're two people that also definitely seem that their just like interactions were genuine. I was a little skeptical of Barnett at first, because I felt like Amber might have been a little bit more into him than he was into her. But definitely as time went on, you can kind of see his love for her grow more and more. So shout out to Barnett and Amber. I wish you guys a long, healthy, happy marriage. Gigi and Damien was another like star couple on the season 1, and honestly it was just toxic written all over it. I did not understand why they, like, Gigi was like on the little bit of a younger side and Damien was a little bit older. I think Gigi was like 25 and Damien was like hitting 30. But they just it just didn't seem like a healthy situation at all. Like, I knew they weren't going to make it, honestly. They got to the wedding day and now in post interviews, Damien says that they had never planned on getting married, but all throughout the show, they make it seem like up until the wedding day, they thought they were going to get married to each other. And Gigi like flipped out at the end when Damien told her no, but apparently there was never a plan for them to get married. And I understand why, because she could not control her emotions and he was a little bit of an asshole. So, when them two things get together, it don't mix. It's gonna blow up. They both had a lot of work individually that it seemed like they needed to do before they could commit to each other in a long-term relationship. So glad that didn't go anywhere. There was another couple. It was Mayo. I ain't even gonna get into it. But Diamond and Carlton, Diamond, I'm sorry. I really am. Because I just feel like you really got played and you ain't deserved that. And Carlton, look, I understand. Okay, I understand being a black man, I don't think you call yourself homosexual or bisexual. Being a black man, being bisexual in this country, okay, in your family, in your culture, I understand the hurt and the pain. And I really do. I resonate with it. So I do feel a level of sympathy for you. But at the same time, you got to control yourself, honey, because that girl did not deserve that. She did not deserve all that lashing out you did because you're upset at yourself. Like, that's really what it was. You were upset at yourself. And you weren't even willing to listen to her. Like, maybe that could have been an edited too, but it did not look like it. It looked like you flipped out and you lashed out at her because you couldn't control the situation anymore. And that is something, my dear, you need to go to therapy for, because you need to fix that. Before you get into any relationship with anybody, I hope you have done the work to actually fix that, to be able to move forward in a healthy, happy relationship. Because I think Diamond would have accepted it. Honestly, I really do. She really seemed like she genuinely like had a real connection with you and really liked you. So if you would have just explained that and been open and honest from the beginning, I feel like y'all situation definitely could have been different. But, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully both of y'all are doing well. Diamond girl, I hope you find love because you deserve it. You really seem like a sweetheart, like a genuine, just good-hearted person. So I hope you're happy and healthy, and I hope you find somebody that is going to love you the way you deserve to be loved, girl. And Carlton, you too. Even though you got to do that work, I hope that you find that for yourself as well, because I can understand how hard that could be to just date and have to explain that and then like go through the waiting period of, oh, are they going to be able to accept this? And, you know, it's a concept that they touch on in Grownish, which I'll probably do a review about later, but it's understandable. So I hope that you do get the help that you need. You find the love and, you know, all the blessings that you deserve come to you. So let's go ahead and get into this season. All right. So if you have not watched it, like I said, I got a couple spoilers. I'm not trying to ruin the show for anybody. So please make sure you watch it first before you watch the review. Because I'm about to get in it. Okay. So I'm going to start with my Chi-Town shawty Jared. Okay. Because I was talking to my best friend, and apparently Jared, y'all know each other. She's a Delta, lives in Chicago. She said you would be hanging out with the Kappas that she knows. So shout out to Chicago, shout out to the Kappas, shout out to the Deltas, shout out to my best friends. Okay, get rid of me. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start with Jared and Ayana. The drama. So Jared was somebody that also made two very strong connections. There were a couple people in this season that made multiple strong connections. That didn't really happen as much on the first season. But this season, we had at least two people or two, you know, different couples that, you know, were making, well, three people actually that made really strong connections with other people. So Jared, who ends up with Ayana, he actually made a very strong connection with another young lady on the show. Her name's Mallory. And Mallory was his number one choice. So he felt very strongly like he was ready to propose to Mallory. He knew that Mallory had also made another connection with another guy on the show. His name is Sal. And mind you, the guys and the girls live together, so they can talk, they can socialize, whatever. Jared claims that Sal didn't really tell him like how strongly he felt from Mallory, like up front. So that kind of led him to like really involve his feelings with Mallory. And, you know, he worked up the nerve first, and he felt like he was ready, and he felt like they were on the same page. So, you know, he asked her, like, if I was to ask you to marry me, what would you say? And she just got so emotional. She broke down like this was like a breakup that she just like did not want to go through. Like you could tell that she really did like Jared. But at the same time, she just felt like her connection with Sal was stronger. And that was the one that she would ultimately want to explore on a long-term basis. So both of them were just like, oh, so heartbroken. It was really sad, honestly. I kind of felt bad for him. I'm just like, damn, that must be a really hard process to go through. Like to just like dang near be falling in love with two people, and then you got to make a decision. Like you got to make a decision. So Mallory made her decision, and then after, Jared went to his second connection, who is Ayana. Very bubbly young lady. I really like Ayana. She also has some work to do. Everybody does, obviously. Everybody has personal work to do. But she did open up about just some of her traumas of just not being able to trust people very well, and you know, abandonment issues and that kind of thing. So when it comes to being somebody's second choice, because Jared, he a real nigga, okay? He told her, like, I did ask Mallory a question and she said no, and I feel like it just made my decision easier, like it cleared it up. But you know, for Ayana, it's just kind of like, so I'm your second choice. That's what you're really telling me. Like, and it's just really, how do you feel about that? Like like I like you, I really like you, and I'm excited that she said no, I guess, because now you know that you should be with me. But it's just like she said, I was so sure that it was you from the jump. it kind of is hesitant that I was not your first choice. Like, you were not so sure about me. So I kind of feel like that might be a point of tension. Like, that's the only reason why I don't know if they'll make it to the end, but I am rooting for them, okay? Rooting for everybody Black. Like, Jared took her home to his mama. His mama was just like, you are so cute. Like, welcome to the family. It seemed like a very, like, fun, playful, dynamic. I haven't gotten to Ayana, and she's like nervous for Jared to meet her side of the family. She says it's gonna be a little bit more tense, so I haven't gotten to that yet. After I finish the last episode, I'll probably do like a follow-up review. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they go. Honestly, look, if they can get past this and she say I do, like, I mean, I guess they made it at that point. But, you know, there's also the tension of, like, Jared being somebody who's very social, likes to go out all the time. And Ayana's kind of like, no, I'm not like that at all. I don't like people. I like to stay at home and read my books in my bed. Okay. So that's another dynamic that they would like have to adjust being married. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. Mallory and Sal. So Mallory, the young lady that Jared also made a connection with, she ended up choosing Sal. And it's so funny because y'all cannot tell. Oh, I knew it. I knew when she saw Sal for the first time, she was going to be like, damn. You wasn't as fine as I was hoping that you was going to be. But I'm going to try and figure it out. And that's exactly what happened. She was not feeling that initial physical attraction to him. And I was like, I bet you Jared is more her type. And later on, she said, Jared is somebody that I usually go for, which is good, though. She's stepping outside of her comfort zone. Clearly, her relationships with individuals like Jared have not worked out in the past. You know, she kind of gets very emotional when she talks about past relationships. She doesn't go in depth about it, but I'm assuming there's a lot of like hurt and pain there. So it seems like Sal is probably honestly going to be way more just good for her. Like, he seems like just so caring, so involved with his emotions. He's not afraid to communicate how he feels. He kind of pushes her to communicate how she feels as well. So they seem like a really good pair. They seem really cute together. Her sister is very protective of her and was kind of like side and like getting it in on him, just trying to make sure that he here for the right reasons. So you can see in his face when he was talking about it, he's a little like worried about what her sister might say moving forward, if she's going to show up to the wedding, give her blessing. So I'm definitely excited to see where their story goes. But I am rooting for Mallory and Sal. They chose each other. I hope that Mallory gets more comfortable with him because, again, body language, she doesn't just quite seem there yet. He definitely seems like a little bit more affectionate and loving. And you know, you want that in a relationship, especially when you're somebody like that and you enjoy to give that affection. I know you enjoy to receive it back. So love languages, sis. You got to learn his if you want this to last, if you want it to work out. So speaking of, let me go ahead and get into Natalie, Shane, and Shayna drama. Okay. So Jessica part 2. So Shane is a very interesting character. Okay. You ask me, I don't know. He's a little annoying. I ain't even gonna lie. But Natalie, she's a little annoying to me too, if I'm being honest. Shane is just like this, just like bona fide white man. Like, that's the best way I can like bona fide frat boy white man. That's the best way I can describe him. He's just like, just super goofy all the time, and just like, even the way he talks, I'm just like, okay, I could only take so much of him. I really could. But shout out to Natalie because she is in love with him. Well, shout out to 2 women because both of them like really like him. So he made 2 more connections as well. Natalie, young lady who is, she's an interesting character. Like, sometimes she's like super playful. Then sometimes she's like playful to a mean extent to where it's just like, okay, can we get serious for a second? Because like, I need affection and you're like literally giving me the opposite, calling me trash and saying you hate me. And like, so I don't know. I feel like sometimes she has problems expressing her feelings. It seems like a guard, honestly. Like, he'll say like, you're just so beautiful. And she'll just be like, I fucking hate you. And it's just like, bitch. Like, okay, well, all right, let's run it back real quick. Can we get to the lovey-dovey part? But it seems like they had a conversation about it because on their honeymoon, while they were on the trip in Mexico, right after they left the pod, she was really like that. And then by the time they got to the apartments, it seemed like she was opening up a lot more to him and willing to be more affectionate. Because clearly he needs that. And I feel like he's somebody that said that in the beginning. So if you're going to choose him, shawty, don't be switching up now that y'all out of the pods. I need you to break down that barrier of uncomfortability. This is who you're going to be with for the rest of your life. And, give him what he needs. Love languages, people. Okay. Speak your partner's love language. But yeah, so Shane also made a very strong connection with another lady, Shanna, who she kind of like... So Natalie was like very vocal about liking Shane. Like from the jump, she would go back to the girls and be like, oh, me and Shane are like so deep, blah, blah, blah. He said he loves me, he's falling in love with me. He asked me to be his girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. She telling all the biz, okay? And then Shayna just like, well, shoot, if that's what you want, then... And like somebody go chase after you. Like, no, shawty, like we're here to build deep, deep connections. And it seemed like Natalie and Shane were able to talk on a much deeper level than Shayna and Shane was. Like if you like review their episodes, he'd be asking her like, what you wearing? This so hot. Like it definitely seemed more like flirtatious and sexual rather than deeper. So it's understandable why he chose Natalie, because I will say, as goofy as Shane is, he does seem like he's really there to like find somebody to be in love with and somebody to be married to. So there are moments where he becomes very serious about what he wants and talks about what he wants and communicates it very well. So I definitely respect that about him. And he just didn't get that with Shayna. And he said that. He told her that. And, she kind of let that be. And then there was another connection that she had with this other guy named Kyle. Now, Shayna is very strong Christian and Kyle is an atheist. So obviously there are going to be some hiccups there. From the jump, as soon as she found that out, you could tell she was very like, I don't think this is going to work out. But she said yes to his engagement proposal anyway. Why was sis do that? I don't know. I don't know if she just wanted to be on TV. I don't know why. I really don't. Because when she took him home to her mom was like, I know Shayna wants a man that can like spiritually lead her and like shares her faith. And I think Kyle is nice, but he can't give her that. And I feel like she knew that. And she chose to move forward with the engagement anyway. And back to Jessica, because she trying to pull that Jessica, her little self trying to insert herself in Natalie and Shane's life, calling Natalie like, well, if it doesn't work out with Shane, then I got somebody for you. And don't sit here and try and make it seem like it was just like, hit. No, girl, that's not what you was doing. You was out here trying to be scandalous, because right after that, you told that man that his relationship was a joke. So go find some business, Shayna, okay? Go find you a man elsewhere and stop being toxic, because that's what you're doing. You lost, sis. I don't know what else to tell you. If he becomes single because they break up on their own accord, then let that be that. But don't be trying to sow no seeds, because all that's going to happen is karma, and you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. So that's all I got to say about Shane and Shayna, aka Jessica, part 2. And then the last couple, Nick and Danielle. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thought it was a little sugar in Nick's tea, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But he seems like a very cool. He just seems like what's the word? Not metrosexual, but kind of like metrosexual. Like he just like cares about the way he dressed and his hygiene, and he just has like this kind of sass about him. But honestly, for Danielle, I feel like that's a good fit, especially like as long as she's gonna have somebody that is willing to put up with her mental health and her ongoing journey to do better. I think it's a good fit for her. And it seems like Nick really, really, really likes her. It really does. And it seems like she really likes him. But honestly, Nick, run. Get out of there, because sis not ready. She is not ready. Like, from the arguments that they had, y'all, like, so one of the big arguments they had, they went to see her family. It was a big deal. Nick was like super present in the moment. You can tell, like, connecting with her family. They seemed to like him. He seemed to like them. And I guess after they left, he had some family and friend issues going on that he wanted to talk to Danielle about. And she was upset because she didn't want to talk about him. She didn't want to talk about him and what he had going on. She wanted to talk about her family and them meeting each other. And she wanted to recap, I guess. And it's just like, sis, the world don't revolve around you. And he told her that, and she got mad. I'm just like, you need to grow up, if I'm being honest. Like, you're entering into a partnership, bro. Like, You could literally just be there for him in the moment. You could see he's frustrated about something. Let him discuss what it is with his future wife that is making him frustrated. And then you can get back to so how'd you feel about me and my family? It's like, then we can discuss all that. But like, whenever your partner is like going through something or frustrated, the last thing you want to do is add more pressure, frustration, or annoyance. Like, you really just want to be there for them in the best way that you can. Listen to them, let them get their feelings and, express all that stuff and let it out. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to feel a lot better once they let it out. So just, be there for them. So, and then the other thing, it wasn't really an argument, but she was talking about how, so this girl is 28 years old. Nick is a little older, I think 36. And she was talking about how her friends like get up on her table. They broke her table because they get up and have dance parties while they're drinking, and she likes to host a lot. And Nick is like, okay, that's cool. And she was like, so are you going to be like scared that my friends are going to break your table? And he's just like, your friends are not going to break my table. Like, we can host, we can, y'all come over and have fun, do y'all thing, but y'all not about to get up on my furniture, breaking my furniture. And she just like really seemed put off by that. Like, he don't want somebody to come in his house and break this furniture that he worked hard for. And you upset that he don't want your grown ass climbing on tables, acting a fool just so you can have fun. It's just like, just grow up. You're in a marriage. Like, this is a part of being married. Like, some things you're gonna have to compromise on. And your friend standing on your husband's table and breaking it, sis, for as much as he gonna have to put up with you, that's something you can compromise on. So, Nick, my boy, if it keep heading down this path, my guy. But we're gonna see. I'm rooting for them too, because, like I said, they do seem like they're very compatible. They show a lot of affection to each other. They talk very openly. She said that they don't have great communication, but from what it seemed like, Nick was very well at communicating himself, and her as well. It just maybe didn't happen as quickly as she liked. But again, sis, you gotta grow up. You gotta let down those boundaries. And she's somebody that talked about her insecurities a lot, and how she pushes people away. And even her mom mentioned that, like, how she's somebody that kind of like sabotages her relationship by pushing people away when she needs them the most. So I'm hoping that she can work that out, because it does seem like Nick really wants to be there for her and love her through all that. So I don't know if you're gonna find nobody better, since you gotta work it out. Okay. All right, y'all. But that is it for Love is Blind. Like I said, I will do a follow-up once the last episode drops on February 25th. Let me know y'all thoughts about it, who y'all like, who y'all don't like. Maybe I'll do another episode reviewing my faves, and I'll do a little, top to bottom and why I like them. So, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Take this moment to shamelessly plug, like, subscribe if y'all are enjoying this so far. If you want to see more, let me know like what shows y'all want me to watch and review. 9 times out of 10, I probably watched it already and I'm planning on reviewing it, or I watched it and have not planned on reviewing it. But if you let me know, I definitely make sure I put it on my to-do list very soon. Also, check out Make It Make Sense, the podcast with Chris and Kay. We're on YouTube, we're on Apple. Shameless plug. Come on, join us for some good conversation. We talk about life, society, culture, everything that's going on. And we're just trying to make sense of like all the crazy things that's going on in the world, because somebody got to do it. Okay. So join us on Make It Make Sense every Sunday at 5 p.m.